So it is that time of year again where we predict every single MLB division, who's going to win the World Series, who's going to win the MVP and Cy Youngs, and I mean, you see those on the screen right now, and we're going to get to those in just a few seconds, but I mean, since our last two seasons predicting the MLB season has gone perfectly, right? I mean, hell, we picked the Yankees to beat the Nationals 2 years ago in the World Series, and then last year, took the Padres to be the Yankees in the World Series. No, neither of those things happened, but hopefully this year we get it right. So we're going over our MVP and Cy Young picks real quick. I got Juan Soto to win the NL MVP. Really close decision, honestly, between Soto and Bryce Harper, the two best hitters, I would say, in the National League. Very close, but we're going ever so slightly with Soto. AL MVP, going Vladimir Guerrero. I think Guerrero can be able to get the job done as the AL MVP over both Shohei and Mike Trout. As for the Cy Youngs, I like Walker Buehler to get it done for the NL. Cy Young, of course, now he is the ace permanently now in the Dodgers, at least for now. We'll see what happens with Trevor Bauer. Don't know what's going to happen in his case, but of course Max Scherzer now is playing in Queens. So Buehler's the guy in LA, and I really think he's going to have a very good season. Then for the AL Cy Young, we got the Guardians' own at Shane Bieber. Bieber's been one of the most consistent pitchers over the last couple of years. He's an all-star almost every single season. I think Shane Bieber's going to be the guy to win the AL Cy Young this year. And before we get into the full predictions, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Also, MLB The Show 22 comes out this Thursday or this Friday night, or actually Thursday night, Friday morning, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more of that as well coming up on the channel in the very near future. So starting first here with the American League East, in first place we got the New York Yankees. I think this team, they've got the talent, obviously, they've traded for a lot of pieces, the outfield's looking good again. I think they should be able to win the AL East, right? I mean, look at some of these other teams, and yeah, the Blue Jays are good, the Rays are good, and the Red Sox are improving, and the Orioles, well, they're the Orioles, but the New York Yankees, I think, are the top dogs still in the American League East. Garrett Cole still maybe the best pitcher in the American League. I mean, it's him or Shane Bieber, but Cole is still very good. I mean, you still got Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield for this Yankees squad. You got Aaron Judge out there. You've got, of course, Joey Gallo as well. I mean, the rotation still looks good, too. You got Montgomery in there. You got Talion. You got Severino. You got Loaizaga out the pen. You got Chapman out the pen. Zach Britton's still a serviceable lefty as well. I mean, look at this lineup, man. I mean, just look at the names on this team. You got LeMahieu, Rizzo, Gallo, Hicks, Judge, Stanton. Connor Falefa's there now too. Josh Donaldson's on this Yankees team. They should win the AL East, and I think they will be getting first in this division. Next up, the Toronto Blue Jays in second. Really like this team. The pitching staff's going to look really nice this year. You got Barrios, Manoah, Ryu. Yusei Kikuchi should be there as well, and of course Kevin Gausman, who they just got in the offseason. The Blue Jays pitching should be really good this season. The bats are going to be good too, obviously. I mean, you got Vladi playing first. Matt Chapman's now in Toronto as well. You got Lourdes Gurriel in the outfield. You got George Springer still coming back to this team as well. Teoscar Hernandez, Kevin Biggio is playing too for the squad, and you can't forget, of course, with their shortstop and Bo Bichette, who's one of the best hitters in the game, it feels like now, and all around one of the best just all-around players in baseball. Bichette. I got the Blue Jays in second. And third, I mean, it's a team that always finds a way to win baseball games. It's the Tampa Bay Rays. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I mean, Corey Kluber is gonna be at the top of this rotation this year for them. They're going to be an interesting team. I mean, Wander Franco got the huge extension in the offseason. I mean, I'm interested to see if Vidal Brujan plays at all. Really excited for him, second baseman, who's a switch hitter. We'll see if he plays at all this year. But I mean, the outfield's still good too. You got Kevin Kiermaier, you got Austin Meadows, you got Randy Rosarena as well. The catching staff for them is Zunino and Mejia, I do believe still. Yeah, I like the Rays to get third. I think it's going to be a competitive AL East. And honestly, I think the Red Sox are going to be competitive in this AL East as well. We have them in fourth. We'll see. I mean, they added Trevor Story in the offseason, and as a Nationals fan, am I pissed that the Red Sox got him instead of the Nats? Sure, but Story should be a real nice add to this Red Sox team. Of course, playing second now because Bogarts is at short. And the infield's looking really good, too, because you got Devers at third and then Bobby Dahlbeck at first. The infield for the Red Sox, some of the best really in the majors. Verdugo headlines, of course, that outfield with the likes of, I mean, JD Martinez is just really a DH now, but of course, Kike Hernandez, Jackie Bradley Jr. as well. The pitching staff, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how good Chris Sale is this year. Evaldi's there as well. You got Pivetta. You got some names. Matt Barnes should be their closer. I just don't know if the Red Sox are going to be able to contend with the top three in this division. And then in last place in the AL East, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's the Baltimore Orioles. This team needs some work, and I think they're an up-and-coming team that can be good. I mean, their pitching staff is John Means, and that's about it. The bats can get better, and there's some really serviceable and good guys who do bat for this team. I mean, I'm looking at you, Cedric Mullins, I'm looking at Trey Mancini, Ryan Mountcastle, amongst others. I think they can win some games. I think they can. Anthony Santander is good too, but I mean, look at the rest of this division. They're not going to do anything. So that's why we got the Orioles in 5th. But, of course, the Yankees winning the AL East. In the AL Central, I just feel like both Centrals just aren't very good this year. Like, I think the White Sox are the best team in this division. Obviously, I have high hopes for this White Sox squad. Giolito, should be making a run at the Cy Young this year. Lance Lynn's still very good. Keuchel had a good season last year. Michael Kopech throws gas as well. Dylan Cease as well. You got Kimbrel, Crochet, and Hendricks out the bullpen. I mean, the bats on this team are really good as well, too. I mean, we're going to see how good Luis Robert is this year. He had a good year last year. We're going to see him, again, coming off the injury last year, but Robert should be good this year. Andrew Vaughn, I know, is dealing with an injury, a hip injury, but he should be good to go by at least the second week of the regular season. Tim Anderson is one of the best shortstops in the game. Zach Collins and Jose Abreu, of course, the infield as well. Josh Harrison's a new add to the squad. Yohan Moncada, the switch-hitting machine, playing third base. You got Yasmani Grandal, of course, behind the dish, Eloy Jimenez. I mean, I can just keep talking on and on about the bats on this White Sox team. They are by far the best team in the AL Central. I don't think it's much of a debate. Next up, we got the Minnesota Twins. They landed Carlos Correa, which didn't make all that much sense. I mean, sure, like they got him and Sonny Gray, but did we really think the Twins were trying to win this season? I didn't think so, but that's who they added. I mean, this is a team that already had the likes of Byron Buxton, who had a very good year last year. You got Max Kepler on this team, Jorge Polanco, Miguel Sano, Gio Urshela is here now as well. The pitching will be interesting. It will, because it's a pitching staff headlined by Sonny Gray, Dylan Bundy, and that's about it. I mean, Taylor Rogers is really good off the pen, but other than Rogers, what else do the Twins have? Exactly. So that's why I have them in second. They're most likely missing out in the playoffs. In third, I got the Kansas City Royals. A lot of question marks around this Royals team. They brought back Zach Greinke, which is interesting. I mean, a very old Zach Greinke, who's 39 years old. He's going to be their second pitcher on this team. Of course, Brad Keller, I think, should be the ace of the squad. You got Brady Singer in there as well, who's a very good up-and-coming prospect, who is now, of course, going to be playing in the majors. The infield for this Royals team, you got Whit Merrifield there. You've got, of course, Adalberto Mondesi. Nicky Lopez, I do believe, should be starting as well in the infield for them. Sal Perez is one of the best catchers in the game, no doubt about it. In the outfield, you're going to have Michael A. Taylor. You're going to have Andrew Benintendi, Hunter Dozier out there as well. They're an okay team that should win some games and should be competitive with a lot of teams, but I got them in third. And fourth, the Cleveland Guardians, of course, the formerly known as the Cleveland Indians. I mean, we picked the Cy Young in the AL from the squad, of course, in Shane Bieber, but other than Bieber, they have some guys in the pitching rotation. It's just a bunch of question marks, and it's like, can Cal Quantrill perform? Can Zach Plesac perform? Can Tristan McKenzie perform? If those guys can do well, and you're looking at the bullpen, I mean, can Karinchak have a bounce-back season? We'll see. Emmanuel Clase should be, of course, their closer. Logan Allen's still in the pen as well. Again, just a lot of question marks with the arms on this Guardians team. The bats are interesting. I mean, they are. I mean, Jose Ramirez, of course, still playing third for the Guardians. He's one of the best bats in the entire league. Josh Naylor is going to be playing in the outfield for them a lot this season. Got the likes of Ahmed Rosario in the infield as well. Bobby Bradley. Again, though, they just lack the firepower on offense due to the Guardians. I think the pitching can really keep them in some games, but again, the bats aren't too strong. So that's why I have the Guardians in fourth. In fifth, to the surprise of some maybe, is the Detroit Tigers. We'll see what the Tigers do this season. I mean, you got a young pitching staff. Casey Mize, of course, is still very young. Matt Manning is young as well. And then you got Tarek Skubal, you got Tyler Alexander, and then, of course, Eduardo Rodriguez will be the ace, I guess, of this Tigers squad. Javi Baez is here, which is interesting. Again, I don't know why Baez is in Detroit. I get it. You got a lot of money to play for this team to hit at Comerica, but I mean, you look at the rest of the squad. Who we got? We got Jonathan Scope. We've got, Tucker Barnhart, I think, is playing catcher. Akil Badu's very good. Miguel Cabrera is still DHing, but still a lot of weird spots on this Tigers team. I think they're in fifth, and of course in first in the AL Central. Your winners, the Chicago White Sox. On to the AL West. In first place, the Houston Astros. I don't think that's too much of a surprise. Yeah, like maybe the Mariners could be good in this division, but it's the Astros. Like, it is the Astros division to lose. Justin Verlander's back. The pitching staff's looking nice. Luis Garcia, Framber Valdez. You've got Odorizio, they brought him, but you also got Javier, and then you got Jose Urquidy as well. I mean, you got some solid arms. Lance McCullers in there as well. I know he's dealing with some injuries, but the Astros are so good still. I mean, they still got so much talent on this team. Of course, Bregman's still there. Altuve's still there. They added Nico Goodrum, who could be very solid for them as well. Yuli Gurriel is still hitting for this team. Kyle Tucker's one of the best outfielders in the game. Yordan Alvarez slugs from the left side of the plate. I think this team's a problem. I mean, you can hate them all you want, but the Astros are still the best team in the AL West. And second, America's team, of course, we got the Seattle Mariners. A lot of improvements made for the Mariners in the offseason. I mean, adding Jesse Winker is incredible for this team. I'm really excited to see what the young guys do with this Mariners squad. I'm looking at Jared Kelenic, and I'm looking at the power hitting machine, of course, in Julio Rodriguez. You've got, of course, Adam Frazier on this team now as well. JP Crawford's still going to be the guy over there at short from them. You can't forget they added Eugenio Suarez in the offseason as well. The pitching staff should be very nice. Robbie Ray, of course, the reigning defending Cy Young, is now in Seattle as well. I feel like that's a move that really gets swept under the rug. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but Robbie Ray is pitching now in Seattle. Marco Gonzalez is there as well. Chris Flexen. You got Justice Sheffield, and of course Logan Gilbert as well out the pen. You got some guys. Ken Giles. You got Andres Munoz, Diego Castillo, Paul Sewald. They've got guys in this Mariners team, man. I think this is a team that can definitely make the playoffs. Could they push for the AL West championship? 100%. I just think the Astros are just a little bit better. And in third place, we've got the Texas Rangers, another team that were big spenders in the offseason. They added Corey Seager, of course, adding one of the best shortstops in the game, and they added Marcus Semien as well. In the span of like 3 days, the Texas Rangers constructed the best middle infield, or maybe I mean, you could say it. They're the best middle infield in baseball right now. Honestly, I think they are. Semien and Seager are going to be nasty. But other than them, look at this team. John Gray's the best pitcher, who he's good. But other than that, you got like Dane Dunning pitching. Joe Barlow's the closer, who I like a lot and who I got in fantasy for the second straight year in a row. So hoping for a big year out of Barlow. But other than that, man, this Rangers team's tough to predict because again, you got the 2 middle infielders in Semien and Seager. But other than that, how much protection do those 2 guys have in the lineup? I mean, Mitch Garver. I mean, you got Garcia in there. Cole Calhoun should be hitting for this team. Brad Miller, right? I mean, but I just can't trust the Rangers to do any much more than being in third place. And that's kind of a stretch because in fourth, I've got the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, California. Of course, I'm talking about the LA Angels. I just can't trust this team. I mean, I just can't. And again, I say this every season that they're not going to make a run because of all the talent they have, but they still can't get it sorted out. I'm going to say it again. I don't think they get it sorted out. Okay, a team with Shohei Ohtani, who best two-way player we've seen in a very damn long time. He just won the AL MVP. Mike Trout, who's the best player of this generation, and Anthony Rendon is one of the best third basemen of this generation. A team with those 3 guys should not be in 4th place in the AL West, but I assure you they're not making the playoffs this season because that's just how the Angels function. It's just how they do. They added Noah Syndergaard, but I mean, come on, dude. It's the Angels. Jared Walsh is very good. I mean, you look at this team, there's so much talent on this team. Joe Adell's coming up. Brandon Marsh is there now, too. I mean, I feel like they have their outfield. It's Trout, Marsh, and Adell. It's an outfield that can, be very good for a very long time. Eventually, I think Adell will probably move to center and Trout move to a corner outfield spot. Justin Upton's going to be swinging in this lineup as well. David Fletcher's very good defensively. Kurt Suzuki can still swing it. Max Stassi brings a lot to this team as well. But when it always comes down to it, the Angels don't perform, and I think it's going to be more the same this season. I got them in 4th and 5th. It's a team that, I'm not going to spend too much time with the A's because they're going to find some guys that are going to be good this year, and they're going to trade them away immediately. That's how the A's work. We're waiting for a Frankie Montas trade. We're waiting for a Sean Manaea trade. Hell, Christian Pache is probably going to play well this season. He's probably going to get moved as well. The A's just aren't very good. They're in 5th place. Nothing much else I can say. And the NL East. In first place, I got the Phillies. Surprising, yes, because this division's a bloodbath. Honestly, it's a bloodbath. And 4 of these teams attempted to make moves to contend in the offseason. One of them didn't because the Marlins know their place. They know their place. And they could definitely slide to 4th. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But these teams know their place. I mean, okay, the Nationals think they're going to contend, but they're not. I mean, that's just how Rizzo works. And as a Nationals fan, I'll be the first one to tell you this. They're not going to do much this season. I'm being nice putting them in 4th. But going on to the, in first place, surprisingly, I have the Phillies. I believe in this team. Bryce Harper has got so much protection in this lineup now. Harper's the NL MVP. He had 0 RBI last season, and he still won the MVP, and he's the best hitter in the National League. You combine that with the pitching staff they have this year: Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, Gibson, Alvarado. He's at the pen. Alvarado and Hand are at the pen, but I mean, my goodness. And this team can be very good. You look at the bats on this team. Harper's going to be playing right. Schwarber's going to be DHing. Castellanos is going to be playing left. I guess Abdubro Herrera is still going to be playing center. But I mean, the infield, Didi Gregorius can still swing it. Rhys Hoskins gets kind of lost in this lineup as well. Gene Segura's here as well. Alec Boehm. My goodness, this Phillies team should win the division. If they don't win it, there's something wrong with them. I mean, I know, look what they're stacked up against, the Braves and the Mets, and we're going to get to the Braves right now because they are the reigning defending World Series champions. Again, they only won 89 games last year, but they still won the entire thing. Acuna is going to be coming back. I don't know what his exact assignment will be to start the season. Will it be a DH role? Will it be in the outfield? I'm assuming it will be a DH for Acuna. Marcelo Zuna's back, which is interesting. I mean, okay, that's fine. Why is Trevor Bauer not playing baseball? I don't know. But Austin Riley developed himself in one of the best third basemen in the game last year. Dansby Swanson's always very good. The pitching for this team should be good. Oh, by the way, I forgot about Matt Olson and Ozzie Albies. Two very good hitters. As for the pitching staff, they added Kenley Jansen, of course, to complement in the bullpen with their guy, of course, in Will Smith, Max Fried, Charlie Morton, Ian Anderson, amongst others in the starting pitching rotation. Of course, sometime this year, I do believe Mike Soroka should be coming back because I kind of stashed him on IR in my fantasy league. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have guys on this Braves team. I got them in second. They're not going to miss the playoffs. They'll find a way in. The team that's, I don't know how good the Mets are going to be this year. I just don't know. It really depends if DeGrom can stay healthy and if Max Scherzer can really provide them a very good season. Scherzer got paid in the offseason. He showed last year in his half season with the Nationals and his half season with the Dodgers. He proved that he can still go. So I'm not concerned about Max Scherzer. I think Scherzer will show up, and I think he's is Max Scherzer a dark horse candidate for Cy Young? Maybe he is, because he could definitely win it. But you have Scherzer and DeGrom. You got Walker, you got Bassett, you got Carrasco. That's a very good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Mets. The bats, as long as these guys perform, they're going to be dangerous. I mean, just listen to some of these names. Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Eduardo Escobar, Francisco Lindor, Starling Marte, Mark Canha, Brandon Nimmo, Smith, Dom Smith, and Robinson Cano. They've got guys. They just got to perform. I think the Mets can be very good this season. I'm kind of crapping on them, putting them at third, but, they're the Mets. I got to put them at third. The fourth, the Nationals. Okay. This is being a little nice. I think this team's probably going to end up in fifth. I'm just, for my own sanity, I'm going to put them in fourth. The Nationals, they think they're going to try to compete this year. That's why they brought in Nelson Cruz. And honestly, the 3, 4, 5 in DC is going to be nice this season. Soto, Cruz, and Bell is going to be very nice to start the season. The Nats might even get out to a hot start. They might. And you're going to have a lot of people, oh my goodness, look how good the Nats are. They got the new cherry blossom jerseys that I didn't totally buy like 5 of, and this team might be cool, right? They might be fun, but when you look at the rest of this team, this is going to be a Nationals team that's going to be starting D. Gordon at the beginning of the season. All right, they're going to be starting D. Gordon, Alcides Escobar. They're going to be starting Cesar Hernandez a lot of games. The outfield, it's Soto, Robles, Lane Thomas. Keibert Ruiz should be good this season, I'm hoping. The pitching staff is going to be led by Patrick Corbin this year, at least to start the season until Strasburg comes back. Josiah Gray is looking for a very good season this year, a productive season out of him. But they're still starting like Eric Fetty, Josh Rogers, and Paulo Espino. They brought back Sean Doolittle, but Doolittle's not very good anymore, and I love the guy, but yeah, it's just going to be rough for DC this year, man. I mean, I hope it's a fun season, but damn well Cruz is getting traded at the deadline. If D. Gordon produces anything, he'll get moved at the deadline. Josh Bell might get moved on a contract year at the deadline. Alcides Escobar is 100% getting moved. That's just what the Nationals are at this point in time. Hopefully they'll be good in a couple years, but just for now, that's what the Nationals bring to the table. And I'm excited for the Marlins too. I think the Marlins are going to be a fun team to watch this year. Jazz Chisholm is one of my favorite players to watch in all of baseball right now. That guy is so exciting and so electric to watch. They brought in Jorge Soler, which is a very fun add to this team. He adds a lot of power to this squad. Jesus Sanchez is good in the outfield. Avisel Garcia is fun as well to watch. John Birdie, might not be starting a lot, but again, he's a very fast player who's fun as well to watch. Brian Anderson's good. This Marlins team can be fun. I think they really can. Sandy Alcantara is a very underrated pick to win the Cy Young this year. Trevor Rogers, Alessio Hernandez, Jesus Luzardo, of course, from the A's. Pablo Lopez is still very good. Edward Cabrera is probably going to be coming out the pen. He throws gas, man. This Marlins team is going to be good in very short order. For now, though, I got him in fifth, even though Nationals bias. They should probably be in fourth. But yeah, we've got the Phillies winning this division, and the Mets in third, Braves in second, Nats in fourth, and Marlins in fifth. And the NL Central, I think it's one of the easier ones to predict. I think the Brewers are the best team in this division. I think by far. I think the Cardinals might give them a run for their money, but honestly, I'm high on the Brewers again this season. I think they're always a team that's really performing. You got Woodruff and Burns and Peralta over the 1-2-3 for the squad. It's a very nice 1-2-3 to have, and it really helps when you have the best closer in the game. I mean, Josh Hader's so good. With the exception in that 2019 playoff game against the Nats, Hader's been tremendous for this Brewers squad, and of course, I'm never going to let that one down. But again, the Brewers have the bats as well. They've got guys in this team. We'll see if Yelich can bounce back. I hope he does. But they added Andrew McCutchen. Hunter Renfroe's got so much power. Lorenzo Cain's very good as well. Willie Adames, very good at short for them. Colton Wong playing second. You got Rowdy Tellez playing first too. Omar Narvaez behind the dish. It's all around just a solid team that's led by the pitching. I think that if the bats can keep up with the pitching, this Brewers team's going to be very good. But I got them winning the NL Central pretty convincingly. I think the Cardinals will probably be a playoff team this season. I think they will be. We'll see. They're old. They're very old. Wainwright, Yachty, Albert Pujols. We'll see if it's all three of their last seasons this year. I mean, I think Yachty and Pujols have said it will be. We'll see about Wainwright, but Wainwright's he's still dealing, man. He really still is. You got Jack Flaherty still here as well. You got Steven Matz, Dakota Hudson. Gallegos is going to be the closer for this team, at least I would think, with Alex Reyes injured. And I think Gallegos probably should stay there at closer for the Cardinals. At least I hope so. Nolan Arenado playing third, one of the best third basemen in the game, of course. Paul DeYoung at short, Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Harrison Bader in the outfield, Dylan Carlson, of course, switch hitter as well. The Cardinals are good. They're a good team. They're a playoff team. I don't think they're as good as the Brewers, but I think they'll be in the playoffs this season. The Cubs, we'll see what they do without Javi Baez. Of course, they traded him last year, but it's a new chapter for the Cubs. Of course, they traded Baez, they traded Bryant, they traded all these guys. What's left of this team? They got Suzuki, which is huge. Big international signing for them. The pitching should be okay this year. Kyle Hendricks, Wade Miley, Marcus Stroman leading that bunch, of course. But it's just not the Cubs team, of course, that was in the World Series, 5-6 years ago. Nick Madrigal playing second, but he's probably going to be behind Jonathan Villar, I do believe. Simba's there. Nico Honer's there as well, too. We'll see what happens at short. Wilson Contreras is still playing catcher. They added Yan Gomes, which is a sneaky good signing for the Cubs. And I definitely think Gomes is going to be moved at the deadline to a contender that needs another catcher. But yeah, the Cubs are in third. They're better than the Reds because I don't know what the Reds did in free agency in the offseason. Honestly, what is left in Cincinnati? They're still better than the Pirates, right? So there's that. But I don't know what the Reds' intentions were in the offseason. I don't know what they were. They traded Winker. They traded Suarez. What's left? He's still one of the best middle infielders in the game. He's so young. Jonathan India, he's still there. He's still going to be playing second. Moustakas is going to get moved, I think, any day now. Joey Votto had a bounce back year last year at first. Tommy Pham's in Cincinnati now, which is cool, I guess. Tyler Stevenson's going to be behind the dish. The pitching is interesting. It's never good when Luis Castillo is your ace. Mike Minor's there. Gutierrez, it's just, it's the Reds. But they're better than the damn Pirates, though. My goodness, this Pirates team is horrible. And why is O'Neal Cruz not in the opening day lineup? I drafted him in fantasy, but okay. You're going to send him down AAA. Indianapolis, I think it's their AAA team. What are the Pirates doing? I hate this team, man. Honestly. Who's starting at short of O'Neal Cruz? Cole Tucker? Shout out to Cole Tucker. Cole Tucker is a baller on and off the field, if you know what I'm saying. But my goodness, dude. We're starting Cole Tucker over O'Neal Cruz. We could slide Tucker to third. We could slide him to the outfield. I don't know. But we're gonna send O'Neal Cruz down to AAA. Franchise shortstop, but he's down in AAA. Again, shout out to Cole Tucker. And the man's a baller for more reasons than one. But come on now. I don't know what this Pirates team is. Come on, dude. Kevin Newman's here. Ke'Bryan Hayes is good. Brian Reynolds is good. They got Vogelbach as their DH now. What are the Pirates doing? They're the worst team in the NL Central, and that's about it. So we just went from the worst team in baseball and the Pirates, or maybe it's the Orioles, but still, to the best team in baseball, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. And there's going to be a lot more Dodgers talk in a second when I talk about the playoffs, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. This team is so good. Just look at the starting pitching rotation, and this is without a guy who won the Cy Young last year, 2 years ago, who potentially could be rejoining them in a couple weeks. Okay, it's Walker Buehler, Julio Urias, Clayton Kershaw, Andrew Heaney, Tony Gonsolin. And this team could be adding Trevor Bauer back to it as well. Again, will Bauer ever pitch again for the Dodgers? I don't know. Will he end up back in Cincinnati or Cleveland or hell, Texas for all I care? I don't know. I hope Bauer gets to play baseball this year. It's just ridiculous what's going on, honestly. But if they add Trevor Bauer, my goodness, this team doesn't lose. Like, imagine one night you have to see Buehler, the other night you have to see Bauer, then Urias, then Kershaw, and they run a 4-man rotation in the playoffs. My goodness, no one's beating this team. And then I'm not even talking about the bats yet. I mean, good luck dealing with this. In no particular order, just going from first, second, third, short. Okay. Freddie Freeman, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux, Justin Turner, Trey Turner, Will Smith, AJ Pollock, Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy. Who's stopping this team? Who? This is the greatest baseball team ever assembled. The Dodgers are winning the NL West and probably a lot more. And second, the San Diego Padres. I hope the best for this Padres team. Will they do a lot this year? I don't know. Tatis is out for 2 months, and it's not like Tatis is the complete driving force of this organization. They've got guys. I mean, they really do. Manny Machado's still here. Very good third baseman, obviously. I mean, Will Myers is going to be playing in the outfield alongside Trent Grisham. Luke Voigt signed to be their new DH. Austin Nola should be behind the dish. You got Kim playing short with Tatis out right now. You got the Crone Zone at second and Jake Cronenworth. Eric Hosmer's making a lot of money, but he's raking right now at first base. I think he'll play well this year in Hosmer. And the pitching staff, good. Yu Darvish, Musgrove, Clevenger, Snell, and Chris Paddock, the sheriff. You got guys. The bullpen should be good. Emilio Pagan, one of the big headlining spots of that bullpen. And they got so many guys coming up as well. I mean, a lot of talent, a lot of prospects on this Padres team. I'm looking at Mackenzie Gore, who we're waiting for. To Nelson Lamette's good-ish. He's okay. He's not really the prospect Mackenzie Gore is, but you got Adrian Mohan as well. The Padres have got guys. CJ Abrams is waiting for the call up as well right now, too. The Padres are going to be in second. And third, the San Francisco Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to be all that great this season. I don't even know if they make the playoffs. They've got guys, obviously. Logan Webb's a very good pitcher. Anthony DeScalfani's good as too. They signed Carlos Rondon, obviously, from the Chicago White Sox. I mean, we'll see how the bats play this year. We will. Jock Peterson signed on to be the new DH, of course, returning home. I mean, I think he's from Palo Alto. I don't know. But, I mean, he's around the Bay Area. He's coming back to play for the Giants. Or, I mean, I guess going to play for the Giants for the first time. You got Mike Yastrzemski in the outfield. You got Steven Duggar. You've got Lamont Wade. I mean, I think Casali's going to be starting over Joey Bart at catcher, which, okay, the Giants really like Casali, apparently. He's the heir apparent to Buster Posey and not Joey Bart right now. You got Tommy LaStella playing second. Longo's playing third. Crawford's going to be playing short. Belt playing first as well. We talked about the pitching earlier. I think the Giants are going to be good. I just don't think they're at the level of the Padres and the Dodgers. The Rockies in fourth. Okay, Chris Bryant's there, which, again, I don't understand as a Nationals fan. Why is he not in Washington? I don't know, but he's going to be in Colorado, and he's stuck in Colorado. So will the Rockies ever build something around Chris Bryant? Maybe. I mean, what Chris Bryant's going to do, he's going to put up good numbers. He's going to hit a lot of home runs like every solid player at Coors Field will do. My only question is, why are you doing this now if you literally just had Nolan Arenado and you let Arenado go to the Cardinals? I mean, welcome Chris Bryant. That's cool. The rest of this team, though, is just not very good. Herman Marquez is the ace. Kyle Freeland's there. There's not much else to talk about. It's just the Rockies. They're not very good, but they're better than the Diamondbacks. My goodness, the Diamondbacks are horrible. Arizona is bad. Madison Bumgarner is probably still their best pitcher. I mean, Zach Gallen's there too, but this team's horrible. I mean, what is the bright spot? What is the bright spot in the lineup? Other than, of course, in the Marte Partey and Ketel Marte. Other than that, what is the bright spot? David Peralta? Dalton Varsho, hopefully, makes more, improvements in his game. Other than that, man, the Diamondbacks are terrible. So there's the NL West. So with all the teams out the way, we're just going to kind of rapid fire now the playoffs. Obviously, 12 teams now in the playoffs, 6 from each side. The formatting's weird. It's just basically like the NFL playoffs, though, before they went to 14. It's just that, in this case, we got 2 byes. And, of course, the Yankees and White Sox getting those 2 byes. They're the 1, 2. The 3, we've got the Houston Astros, so, of course, 3 division winners. And then you got 3 wild cards. I have the Blue Jays at 4, Rays at 5, and the Mariners at 6. So, first off, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Tampa Bay Rays. I got the Blue Jays winning. And I got the Blue Jays going on to play the Yankees in the second round because the number 1 seed gets to choose their opponent. And you'll see who I have winning the Astros and Mariners series, but I think the Yankees would choose the Blue Jays in the next round. That's why I have them playing each other in the ALDS. And then we've got the Astros beating the Mariners. I think they're just all around better. Like, I like the story of the Mariners, and I like this team. They're up and coming. They're going to be fun to watch for the foreseeable future, but for now, it's the Astros' time. I think the Astros beat the Mariners, and of course, the White Sox are left to play them in the ALDS. So we've got Houston and Chicago and Toronto and New York. And here's the first major upset. We got the Toronto Blue Jays beating the New York Yankees. Yeah, I believe in this Blue Jays team. I think they can go and upset some people here, and the first team they're going to upset is going to be the New York Yankees. Technically, I mean, their Rays series should be tough for them. It's a rematch of the wild card round last year, but I like the Blue Jays to go in, go to the Bronx, steal a couple of games, and then win it back home in Toronto. I got the Blue Jays in 6, up in the 6. Give me Toronto to take down the Yankees. And I've got the White Sox skip past Houston. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this Chicago team because they play in a relatively easy division. The AL Central shouldn't be too much of a problem for them this year, and we'll see if they can wake up in the postseason. I think them playing the Astros is going to be huge, and them getting home field advantage is going to be huge because this is going to be a long series. This is going to be one that's going to go 6, is going to go 7, and in the end, in a 7-game series, winning the series in game number 7, I like the Chicago White Sox. I think Tim Anderson and the guys, Carlos Rondon, they get it done. Yeah, give me Chicago in 7. They move on to the ALCS. But we're going to continue to roll on with the Toronto Blue Jays. I got the Blue Jays beating the White Sox. I got them getting it again in 6. I like this Blue Jays team, of course. Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, Lourdes Gurriel, the young core finally, and Kevin Biggio as well. How could I forget the young core, though, finally making some damn moves. And I think it really just depends if Jose Barrios is a solid pitcher for them, because if Jose Barrios can really be the guy, the high-end guy of this rotation with Ryu, with Manoah and these guys, I think Blue Jays is going to be a very tough team to contend with, because again, Barrios just has to be that elite guy in this rotation, and you just need some good quality starts out of Manoah and Ryu. I think the Blue Jays can be dangerous, and I got them going on to the World Series. And in the National League, the 1 seed, the Los Angeles Dodgers, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. 2nd seed, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies. That actually might be a surprise. 3rd, of course, we got the Brewers, and then the wild cards, 4 Atlanta, 5 St. Louis, and 6 New York. Okay, so starting it off first with the Braves and the Cardinals, I think the World Series champs will move on to the second round. I just think in a 3-game series, they're better than St. Louis. I think they can pick up some wins. We'll see the health of Soroka coming up to the series with the Cardinals, but playing in Atlanta is a very tough thing to do. I mean, I know they lost Freddie Freeman, but they still got Matt Olson now, who's going to bring a lot of power to the plate for them at first base. Albies, Acuna, it's a tough team to beat. I like the Braves to take down the Cardinals. And in a 3-game series, am I taking the Mets or the Brewers? I'm taking the Mets. You just need 2 good starts back-to-back out of DeGrom and Scherzer, and you win the series. Sorry, Milwaukee, but styles make fights. And this fight's made by Scherzer and DeGrom going back-to-back, shutting down the Brewers in 2 straight games, and moving on to the next round. So we've got Mets and Phillies, Braves and Dodgers. I think the Dodgers would choose to play the Braves over the Mets. It's a tough decision to make, and maybe they would take the Mets, considering you don't have to see DeGrom and Scherzer for the first 2 games of that series, but still, I think I'd rather play the Braves, just because the pitching isn't where it's at, like it is, of course, in Queens. So yeah, I think the Dodgers would take the Braves, and of course, it leaves the Phillies with the Mets. But a fully healthy Dodgers team just completely runs by the Braves. Like, Dodgers in 4 or 5, Trevor Bauer or not, the Dodgers are winning this series. I like the Braves, but, I mean, how are you going to keep up with this Dodgers team? I mean, adding Trey Turner's so huge. I know they had him last year, but Turner's, I mean, they lost Seager, but that's fine. Trey Turner's one of the best shortstops in the game. He's not going to make a bunch of fielding errors now at second because he's playing his primary position again. Freddie Freeman's on this team now playing first base. The outfield is incredible. Mookie Betts is out there. If Cody Bellinger can get his swing figured out, my goodness, is anyone beating this team? Is anyone beating this team right now with Bellinger not playing well? And if Bellinger starts to step it up, who's beating the squad? I don't know. Dodgers, they'll move on to beat the Braves. And I think the Mets get by Philadelphia. I think they do. I think the Phillies are going to have a good regular season, but when they get to the postseason, it's a different environment. It's a different atmosphere. I like the Mets. Yeah, I think the Mets get it done like in 6 or 7. I think it'll be a deep series, but you're going to have DeGrom and Scherzer probably back for games 3 and 4. Probably DeGrom for game 3, Scherzer for game 4. I think the Mets probably steal 1 out the first 2 in Philadelphia, and they turn that around, and yeah, I think they get out to a 3-1 lead. I think the Phillies probably push them to 6, but then the Mets win game 6. So you got Mets and Dodgers in the NLCS. Should be a good one. Scherzer taking on his former team they played with for only like 3 months. Should be fun, though. We got the Mets taking down the Phillies. I think the Dodgers will have trouble in this series against the Mets. I don't think they're going to lose, but I think they will have some trouble. That's all I'm going to say. The pitching out of New York is very good, but when you match up these 2 teams, bats and the offense out of both squads, the Dodgers are not going to have any trouble with the Mets, at least producing runs. I know they will against Scherzer and DeGrom. When you take away Scherzer and DeGrom, there's, other guys have to pitch. And the Dodgers are going to capitalize off of that. And it's not like the Dodgers don't have pitching in their own right. Walker Buehler is going to shut some guys down. Urias is going to shut some guys down. Kershaw is going to shut some guys down. They get Bauer back, he's definitely going to shut some guys down. The bullpen's still good in Los Angeles, even though they lost Kenley Jansen, who given wasn't the greatest last season. Or the season before that, too. The Dodgers still beat the Mets. I got Dodgers in 5, honestly. I think they'll probably steal one off of Scherzer. Yeah, I give me the Dodgers to go to the World Series. So here it is, World Series time. The Dodgers take in on the Blue Jays. Everyone in America is cheering for the team from Canada in this one because no one really wants the Dodgers in this spot. No one wants this, right? It's the Dodgers, come on. I mean, the only thing that can make this worse is if it's Dodgers and Yankees. But the Dodgers and Blue Jays, I mean, the Dodgers probably want to be one of the biggest favorites in World Series history coming into this one. For good reason, because they're probably going to beat the Blue Jays in 4 games, all right? Is that what you want to hear? Because, yeah, Dodgers in 4. Okay, I mean, like, this was cool, right? This Blue Jays run was cool. Oh, they beat the Yankees. Oh, they got rid of the White Sox. Oh, they beat the Rays in the first round. But when you get to the spot, the Dodgers are going to have 0 trouble. Truly, there is something wrong if the Dodgers do not win the World Series this year. This team is too talented, too stacked, too good. They're not losing. I don't think they're losing the World Series here. Maybe the Blue Jays steal 1. Maybe they steal 1. Maybe Barrios has a good game. Maybe Ryu has a good game against his former team. Maybe they do. Maybe Ryu gets like Kershaw in 1 game and he beats him. Okay, cool. Because Kershaw can't pitch in the postseason. But I don't give a damn. The Dodgers are beating the Blue Jays max 5 games. If this is a series, max 5. If not, 4. Dodgers win, World Series champs. They finally win one that's not a Mickey Mouse ring. Good for LA. See you later. So I got the Dodgers winning the World Series this year. Again, I'll say it a million times. If they don't win this year, there's something wrong. They have too much talent to lose. And I think the Dodgers win the World Series. And folks, that'll do it for our 2022 MLB full season predictions video. If you have any disagreements with me, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Give folks a thumbs up for watching. And Mamba, forever.